Hi friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Designs. I'm back today and I'm working on my But First God planner. This is my faith planner. And I'm very late getting this video done because we ended up having to be out of town this last weekend, and I'm just getting back. So anyways, we had to take care of things for the estate. I did want to show you that when I went to Bible study Monday night, these are my notes. So then I just insert them in that week, and then I have the week to refer back to them. So, you know, and then if there's sermon notes or whatever, I do the same thing. So in this planner, I do not do the monthly. I don't know why, I just don't do it. But I do the weekly because that's really how I utilize this planners, week by week. So I'm also going to, just one second, let me see here, thought I had, make sure, and, okay, I am going to do only washi today. I don't know why. Every now and then, especially in this planner, I love the white space, and I utilize all the white space. So anyways, I'm going to have fun throwing some color down, and then we are just going to bloom where we're planted. So I have this darling little speckled, and since that is, you know, has color to it, I want to add that. And I think I am going to go with, not that one, I don't think. Hold on. I think I'm just going to go with the hearts. For those of you who've been following my channel, you guys know that we've kind of had a rough little over year. And I have had a very, you know, trying week, we'll say. And it's because I have to take care of all the paperwork, and personalities are involved, and you know how this goes. So anyways, I am learning when to stand firm and when not to. Hopefully I have, you know, when you go through something like this, it's just, and like a lie, it's not easy. But the thing is, you know, God does guide us in our steps. And I have a friend who's going through not the same kind of struggle, but a very similar end result type situation. And you know, I saw her this last week, and her sister, and you know, if you know somebody who's going through difficult times, or you yourself are going through difficult times where you're trying to help your family and the people that you love, you know, just know if it's difficult for you or there's a struggle, you're not alone. Yesterday I was on the phone, you know, receiving estate business, you know, information, and hold on one second, grab my scissors. At the same time, this person does a lot of like pre and post estate counseling and seminars and things like that, and he was so gracious to take the time and say, this is what this is, and this is what that is, and this is what you need to do, and this is what you don't need to do, and you have one of two choices. And in my heart of heart, I knew I had already decided, you know, which way I would proceed. And you know, we all have difficult people in our life. You know, we all have to make these decisions. And one of the things that I recognized was, you know, I have to live myself afterwards. I have to be true to who I am. I have to be true to what I am called to do. And either I am content in that or I am not. Pretty simple, huh? Am I doing God's will? That's it. Is this God's will for my life? Those are the questions. And I had to walk away and say, yeah, it is. The more I work in all of this, and I do mean work, there are sometimes 14, 14.5-hour days, literally, last week. Last Thursday was a 14.5-hour work day. And he clearly told me, he said, let me give you some other piece of advice. It was just great. I said, sure. He said, nobody's going to know what you've done. Unless you build them for it, nobody will ever know what you've done. And I said, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. And he said, you know, are you keeping your hours? I said, yeah, to some degree, sure. But it was a really good, I mean, again, here's where you make your stand. You know, here's where you make those decisions. What are we guided by? What is it that I'm willing to do? What is it that I'm not willing to do? You know, those kind of things. And, you know, that's true in anything. That's true whether you're teaching school or you're, you know, working in a bank, whether, you know, whatever we're doing. You know, we have to make these decisions. Why do we do what we do? You know, what is it that we're called to do? And, you know, as a Christian, we're called to something even more different, you know. You know, when people throw tantrums or they don't act professionally, they don't exhibit professional behavior, let's say. You know what? That's on them. We are still accountable. And, you know, and I mean, I have wonderful Christian people tell me, you need to read them the riot act. And maybe so, but who does that benefit in the long run? It benefits no one. At least of all, when you're dealing with somebody who may not be a Christian, it doesn't lead them to a knowledge of Christ. It doesn't make them want to be around Christians. And so that's, you know, and yeah, there's always that saying, what would Jesus do? WWJD. Yeah, and those are important questions. What would Jesus do in a time like this? What did he do? He turned the other cheek. He suffered and died on a cross for all men and women, that they might come to know the Lord, and he took on the punishment for all of our sin, not just those of us who declare him as, you know, our Lord and Savior. And so, okay, there's that argument, right? Because I find people feel they need me to give them an answer, and so, you know, I've had to really, like, you know, you can stay in that gray zone for a long, long time, but then when they keep pushing you for an answer, you got to give it to them. So, we as Christians, what are we doing in these moments? And yes, you sit and you're in shock and awe over the way people act. Yes, it's always at the worst timing, the very worst timing. But again, I just said this last week, God's logic is not my logic. He is so much smarter than I am, obviously. And if I truly trust him, then I submit to that. And I submit to his timing and his will and his desire. So what am I really trying to say here? I'm just trying to be encouraging and let you know I'm okay, for those of you who have been so sweet to email me. I miss my family members every day. I do. Not gonna hide that fact. It is very hard. And am I handling everything 100% perfectly? No. No. Who on this earth could do anything perfectly? Well, Jesus, that was it. But does that give me the right not to try? No, it doesn't. I'm still accountable for my portion. I'm still here to do a job that obviously not only did my family member give to me, but God did to some degree. So, how does that play out? Well, how this plays out right now is I just keep plugging away. I keep trying to do my very best. That's all I can do. And my goal now is to quit worrying about being pleasing to other people. I just want to be pleasing to God. Because guess what I realized last week? There is, I mean, not that I haven't known this before, there's no way you can please everybody. You know, who is it that you're trying to please? Are you trying to please yourself? You know, those are the questions that go through my head. I don't know. Do you think like that? But I need to be pleasing to God. And so, again, as I go through this process, no, I don't need to lose my top, blow my top. No, I don't need to tell everybody what I think. And one of the family members that was telling me, you just need to tell them, you know, this is wrong, and talk to them badly, and you know, not in those words, but essentially, let go on them. And then the very next day, God, we had this issue on our property we were negotiating, and the person I was talking to, I just said, this is silly. These people have drug you around for a year and a half, almost 2 years, and okay, I don't know what it's going to take for us to end this, but I'm going to end this. Let's just get on with it, and I don't want to waste your time anymore, and I'm so sorry that this is how this turned out for you. This is very wrong. And what can I do to help you and, you know, get this project finished? And so last night we got a call, or yesterday morning we got a call, and what was going to cost us over $1,000 is now being done for free for us. Some work on our property, which it should have never come out of our pocket to begin with, but and I think what it came down to was the other person was literally tying up their financials with litigation, having to pay attorneys. And whether they were litigating it or not, I'm not sure, and I really don't even have time to know. But, so in one area, there's this incredible difficulty, and you choose to, quote, take the higher ground. And then in this other area, the same thing's happening, but it's happening to someone else. And if I had not gone through the first situation, I might have not had as much empathy for the second situation, and therefore the blessing of over $1,000 worth of free work done to the best of the specifications that we would ask for it to be done is being done. It was being given to us. You know, I'll wait to see if that really happens in the end, you know, but I just thank God. And my sweet husband looked at me and said, wow, you know, this was great. We were what we should have been, and then we were blessed. And I said, yes. I said, there's no reason to make somebody miserable just to fight. And anyway, so what's the point in all this? The point is, treat others the way you want to be treated. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, the golden rule. We are accountable in this world. And there are those that, yes, it seems like they get away things for years and years and years and years, and maybe they do. But we don't know behind the scenes. We don't know what's going on in their lives. And am I perfect? Absolutely not. I am so human and flawed. But I am so thankful for a God who would love me anyways. And love me through one of the worst times of my life. And guide my steps. And go before me. And go with me. And go behind me. Because I can't do it on my own. There's a song, I don't know if many of you know this, it's by Twila Paris, and it's The Warrior is a Child. And in that song, it talks about, and Twila Paris is a Christian artist, and she talks about how a warrior goes into battle, and then at times they need to retreat and just sit with God, that they're just exhausted and broken and worn and weary, and it is only in God's presence and in His strength And in faith and obedience to Him can we be made strong. A friend of mine brought up some of this the other day, and I talked about, well, as Christians, we're to stand firm. And it doesn't mean that we need to be ugly, we just stand firm. And it doesn't mean we dig our heels in the ground, we just stand firm. And I told her, I said, well, I pray the armor of God. I just do, and I can't do it without it printed in front of me. I do not have photographic memory. I try, but I think I always mess it up. And it's a really good stretch of verses that lets us know when we are going through the rough trials of life, what we are to do. So, do I have this perfect in my life? Absolutely not. Am I learning? Yes, I am. Am I messing up? Yes, I am. But it is when we are weak, He is strong, Scripture tells us, and it is when we are humbled that He can raise us up in what He needs us to do in our lives and do for others. And when I was talking to this friend, we were talking about the fact that people are watching. People watch to see how we're handling things. The people we don't think are watching are watching. It's amazing. And there's a lot of times I'm thinking, oh, please don't watch. Please don't watch. But that's what our life is as Christians. We are the walking, talking testimony of God's love in our lives, His forgiveness, His relationship in our lives with us. And why would anybody want anything, why would anybody want not to watch when somebody's going through a difficult time? And why is it they can still smile? And why is it that they can still be concerned about somebody else? Because we have the joy of the Lord in our heart. And I've shared this before. When I was a kid, there was a church bus that went and picked up neighborhood kids. And I don't remember why I was on this bus because, I never rode the bus to go to church. We must have been going somewhere, like on a field trip or something, for VBS or something. And there was this sign in the front, and it said, like J-O-Y, Jesus, others, you. And I thought, that really struck home with me, and I've shared that in many, many different, settings and opportunities. And when we keep our eyes on Jesus first, and then we have that servant's heart like Jesus, we are like Christ. We are Christians like Christ. And we have that joy in our heart, and we serve others, then we can have perspective in our own lives. Because if I sit and think about how overwhelming my life is, it's overwhelming. It is immobilizing. It is crazy. But, there are people that are in worse situations, much worse than what we've gone through. And I literally spoke to someone last night, and I was having to discuss, because of the estate, what had happened and when, and I had to give dates and everything. And that person said, I am so sorry. Well, I don't know what you believe, but I'm going to pray for you. And I said, I do believe in prayer, and I do thank you for that. And she was just like, I really understand what you're going through. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry you've lost somebody in your life. And she said, yes, I've lost my great uncle. He was murdered. And we've had to go in and clean everything up in his home. And I was just awestruck. I was just like, oh my goodness gracious, how could you do that? So yes, we've cleaned out hundreds of boxes in our family member's home, but we didn't have to clean up what this sweet, young, beautiful person was telling me about, and how it was her grandmother's only brother, and how difficult it had been for her grandmother, and and I was just so thankful that this grandchild could see the need to help. That speaks volumes of her character, and it gave me perspective. it just gave me perspective in a time when I needed perspective. You know, when we have a hard day, we tend to only look at ourselves. But when we hear about others' sufferings, then we can look at them and love them and then point them back to Jesus. And that's what she did for me and I did for her. So, anyways, that's where I'm at in my walk right now. For those of you who've been wondering, where are you? I've been just really in the thick of things, trying to take care of things. So I'm a little bit late getting this up, and I'm a little bit late filling it in, but I'm okay with that. I am totally okay with this. God gives us grace and mercy, and sometimes I don't give that to myself. And so, in things like this last year, I feel like all I've done is, make excuses. But what I'm realizing is it was probably grace and mercy that I needed to give myself, because I tend to be perfectionistic in some ways, But anyways, so, all right. Oh, here's a really good verse for this week. I just saw this. So the verse for this week is, "And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth." John 1:14, pardon me. I can't even read. So, all right, guys, this is it. We are keeping it simple. We've got some extra color on here. You're probably thinking, why? But I don't know. I like the color. And I was going to use this, but I don't know. Summer's coming. It's always a time that I love, so I went with the palm fronds, and I just like the color. This just kind of reminds me of that. Oh, do y'all remember that gum, that Stripes gum? I think that was the name of it. It had like the little zebra and all the different colors. When I was a kid, my mom never bought that for us, but I had a couple of friends who would get it every now and then, and it was like, oh my goodness, I loved that gum. And this is what these colors remind me of. So, anyways, so I wanted to think of things that make you happy and joyful. And sometimes in our planning, that's what we need. We need things that cheer us up, that encourage us, and it's okay. It's okay to do that. So, all right. So here's where I write my prayers to God. Here's where I write that scripture, and I practice it each week, praying that it is somehow being absorbed in my brain and heart, and mostly my heart. Here's where I can either write prayer request or prayer list, and then here's what I write, something special that happened that week, or, I use these two bottom ones interchangeably for different things. So, all right, guys, this is it. I am getting ready to run out the door again and take care of more estate stuff, and I'm on the road again today. But I'm hoping I get to be home tomorrow, and then I will catch up with some of my other goodies I've been working on. But I didn't want another day to go by without saying hello, saying I'm still here, and thank you guys for being patient. For those of you who've written, yes, we're still ticking, we're still going. So, all right, guys. Well, most importantly, I'm going to clip this so I know exactly how to get here. I pray that your day is blessed. I pray that it is creative, and I pray that it is so very lovely. I thank you guys for stopping by. Please hit that like button if you like this video. If you've learned the same things that I'm going through right now, y'all's encouragement has been fantastic. And if you would like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me either Instagram and you can message me there. You can email me at JosephinesDesignscom@gmail.com. That is also in the About section and in the information section below of this channel. And you can always leave a comment. I am slower on the comments. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get better. But, I mean, I literally looked at the clock last night, and I looked at my husband and said, it's almost 2 in the morning. And he said, yeah. We were both working. I said, I think we need to go to sleep. So he was like, yeah. And he was like, set the alarm for 6. And I said, really? 4 hours sleep? Okay. So life is busy, like it is for many of y'all. But I will try my very best to get back to y'all. And if you're not subscribed, we'd love to have you be part of this community. We are small, but we are mighty. And it is an amazing group. I am always so humbled by each and every one of y'all, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of y'all. And of course, you're on my prayer list. And it is a privilege to pray for y'all, and I love praying specifically for so many of y'all, and I'm thanking you for, reaching out to me and allowing me that privilege of praying for you individually. But we'd love to have you be part of this group, and we'd love to pray for you and encourage you. And if you are subscribed and you haven't hit that little bell, and if you're going to subscribe, hit that little bell, and then you'll be notified every time there's a new video. And you can watch it, you cannot watch it. You know what to do. And guys, I just want to thank you guys for stopping by. This has been a long-winded video. I apologize. But I figured I owed you a little bit more than just a quick planning video. Listed below will be the other designers in the Design With Me, Plan With Me design group. Sorry there, Plan With Me design group. And I encourage you to go see all their videos, because there are some amazingly talented people in this team as well. And thanks, guys. I hope that you're all having a great day. I look forward to talking to y'all soon. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.